was gonna love you till I was dead.
The first time they came in the office, I basically said, lock the doors, we're not letting you go until you sign here. It's like, come on, you need to be here, we got this, let's go.
The band Perry is a trio of siblings. It is Kimberly, Neil, and Reed. They broke out a couple years ago with sort of a gothic country sound. There's always been something interesting about the band Perry's music, but there was also a sweetness to it. And I think on the new album, with Better Dig 2 and with Done, they're trying to assert that they're not so sweet.
We've always operated under the guise of, the boldest step forward is the right step forward.
Pioneer is the band Perry's second album. The first single off the album, Better Dig 2, topped the charts. It went straight to #1, and their second single, Done, is doing incredible as well. When you hear Done, it does have that crossover appeal. I think there's a good chance you could hear Done on pop radio as well.
A lot of times we would come into the control and say, man, we just went there. And we tried on every song to just
And we're not minimalist live.
No, we're not.
Our musical arrangements are like macro. And so I think that's one thing that is distinct from the first record is we have a lot more electric guitars.
Pioneer is the band Perry's second album, but they've been playing together for 14 years.
I don't think you see many siblings playing music together anymore. In a way, it's kind of quaint.
We started out in separate bands. Neil and I had ours, and Kimberly, she had hers. Always knowing that the family band was in the works at some point, but we always said that we weren't going to be in a family band together just because our last name was Perry. Everyone was going to have to earn their spot. But that being said, I feel like there is a big advantage in knowing that there is comfort and security in the fact that you are in a band with blood.
The song Pioneer has been our lifeline and our guiding light through the making of this album. First of all, musically, Pioneer kind of begins in this bluegrass sensibility. It's got a mandolin hook, and then as you listen through the song and it transitions into the bridge, there's a lot of rock and roll elements at the back half of the song. So it's almost been like our journey in music in one piece of music, but it's also lyrically was our guiding light.
Dan Huff as producer came about after an experiment we did with Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin is a legendary super producer. He's recorded the Dixie Chicks, Johnny Cash, just did the new Avett Brothers record. He's someone that has a lot of gravitas, and the band Perry was originally going to be recording their album with him, which is a giant vote of confidence basically by everyone in the country community.
He was really pivotal in our song collection phase, and he truly gave us, I think, a boost of confidence walking into the sophomore release.
He did.
A guy of his musical prowess to say, hey, I believe in you and I believe in these songs was huge for us. But we did have to take a look in the mirror and just say, Rick is very much in this era of Rubin. He's a minimalist. And it became really evident to us as we went through the process of writing that to accommodate what we do live, we were looking for macro production right now. And so we made the decision to just pack up the songs and bring them home to Nashville for Dan to bring to life. But both halves of that, the Rubin half and the Huff half, made this album happen.
We just wanted that bigger country radio sound. So instead they enlisted Dan Huff, who's known for his work with Rascal Flatts, Carrie Underwood.
He actually came out to see us live, which was, I feel like we are our truest selves when we're on stage. And so for him to get that perspective, I think really readjusted everybody's mindset.
That was his choice to have that first moment of interpretation of where we are right now live. And so that was really what attracted us to Dan the most, because as Reed and Neil have said, that's our truest self, and he got that.
The first song that they recorded was Better Dig 2, which ended up being the first single off of Pioneer and a big old #1 hit.
Put me in the ground, put me 6 foot down.
Better Dig 2 is crazy tinged, almost murder-suicide threat.
Better Dig 2 is kind of like the ultimate commitment song. Anybody who has experienced true, committed, somewhat crazy love for somebody else, you said, I would die if something ever happened to you. And it truly felt like the next level song for us.
This new album is another level of depth for them as far as their growth as artists and as songwriters. I think it's going to be one of the biggest albums of the year.
I think Pioneer is going to be massive this year, and I think because it has both pop appeal and country appeal. To me, this album, they're just starting to say what they really want to say, but it's going to be the thing that allows them to say that 5 years down the road.